What I was working on a couple of days ago was these 88 Bronco seats. It's the full size Bronco. Um, Made some seat covers, cut out some patterns last time, sewed some foam up. So here we are again. It is actually about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I thought I'd come up here and make this video. Don't have no customers walking in at 1 o'clock in the morning. So kind of got the shop to myself, and we're going to scoot through this. I'm going to try to explain to you some of the stuff that I'm doing and make these seat covers. Sewed up a couple of pieces last time, so this is the bottom. It don't have the boxing sewed around it, but that ain't no problem. I'm gonna show you how to do some of that. The seat foam is terrible, so we're gonna get through that. Hopefully I can sew up some of this a little bit quicker. I had done started on this right over here. It's the pieces that goes in the backrest. So I glued that, and it needs to be glued really, really good. So I put a double dose of glue on it. I've been planning on doing these seats right here all day, making this video. But so many people walk in and out of here. Come look at my car. Come give me an estimate. So I just don't have time. So if you want to do something bad enough, you just got to make time. Alright, and I'm going to show you what this looks like on the other side. Okay, the Bronco, he said that these were, he said this was an Eddie Bauer. The truck did have Eddie Bauer on it, but I cannot remember if this was Eddie Bauer seats, because from 1988, a lot of things can be changed. Who knows? Them seats could have been changed a pretty good while back, years ago. So, just like we're doing these, I don't have this. I don't have this right here. So, I took this off of it's what they call Fargo, the pattern. And that's kind of old. I don't think they even make this anymore. Looks kind of like a little bit of a tribal or some crap like that on there. Not too bad. We used to pleat these right down the seams right here and give it a little rolling pleat, or you could leave it as a smooth cover and it didn't look too bad. But that's part of it. We had to glue the Velcro on the back side of it to where it would stick. It's got a Vel stick on the backrest, so that's not hog ringed or anything like that. Back in '88, I'm gonna say that's pretty much the start of the Velcro and some of the covers on. And now, where they used to use the rods and some hog rings, they don't use this no more much. Especially nowadays, these seats will fall apart before you ever about get them off the lot, because they ain't made out of nothing. And some of them are a little bit harder to do. So, alright, so I'm gonna set this camera up. We're gonna start cutting on some foam. And shape the foam up. Alright, here's the foam right here. This crap right here, bust it all up right in here, right in here, all that's busted up. Turn it over, all that right there's busted up. So all that needs to be glued back. And most of the time what I'll do is I'll take and put a piece over this right here, like a piece of material, glue it to it to cover to hold that split together. And you can see right here, that is got a lot of cheese got cut on that right there to bust that open like that. Or they could have just been sliding out the seat. But that's what we're gonna do. I got my little knife right here. Some of these knives that you buy ain't worth nothing. And I'm thinking that's one of them. I don't want to knock the knife company in the 70s, but it is just says electric carving knife. J.C. Penney. I just don't think that J.C. Penney was up on the carving. What was it going on back then? Woolworth. Let's see what it does. You gotta cut it. It ain't cutting it good. J.C. Penney ought to quit with the carving. This one that's a Black & Decker. I don't know if it's much better, but you can see that this right here is like goes back in there. It's not actually a loose right here, but it goes back in here. So you need to come right here and cut this open. Just like that. See all that looks like rat mess in there, like rats has been eating it. Well, that needed to come out, because if I put my glue in there, all them particles ain't gonna help matters none. And if you look right here, the side right here, the side has been squished down. Like maybe somebody that was getting up in the middle of the night, eating throughout the night, was jumping in here on this seat. So I'm gonna take and smooth this right here off just a little bit, and I'm gonna put a piece right there. This foam right here, it's been had it. So let's take it and put a little glue right here. See what happens. Back in the 80s, hey, they probably did the best they could, but it ain't great. I save little pieces like this right here that's like a nylon, something that's really tough, and I use it on stuff like this right here. I got my plastic laid down so it won't get on my table. So when I spray glue on it, it ain't gonna be too bad. Because I can just throw this away. But I hate to have to cover my table every time I do a seat. All right. I got some scrap pieces right here that I cut. I'm gonna put this piece over here on this. So I think I'm gonna go and spray that. Oh shit. My little piece that I just picked up just got blowed over there across the table. This piece right here, how I cut this right here down, I'm thinking I might want to make this just a little bit thinner, kinda, like right through there. So I'm gonna trim this right here down with the saw. Alright, I cut it down maybe 3/4 right here. So this little piece, I could put it on there and kind of smooth it out with my grinder. Alright, the reason I'm putting this piece on here, the reason I'm putting this on here is to help hold this wire in place. That pretty good sized piece of wire too. So to help dry that glue up, I'm going to blow some air on it, and just, it ain't got to be heated air, just regular air out of my spray gun. I mean out of my tank. Hey, it's late, y'all. 1 a.m. I'm thinking I might need to cut that before I stick my piece on here and just smooth this out some. Alright, so we got that smoothed out a little bit. I didn't want to go too deep. I left a little bit of that wrinkle in there. I think I'm going to put the thin piece on here just to where I don't have to grind so much of it off. Don't think I'm gonna have to have quite that much. So I'll probably just cut it off right along here. Let that glue dry too much, you'll be having to respray it. So I'm gonna go on and stick it. Okay, got my little piece right here. Remember we talked about that? Putting this piece. I don't think I'm gonna make it quite that wide. Take it and just put it right over that piece of wire. That will reinforce that, help that wire stay in place. Alright, this is my other piece. I'm gonna be gluing it on here. I want it glued real good. Like covered really, really good. Just trying to speed up the process for the video, because I know how it can be having to wait on somebody. Alright, I'm just taking it and pressing it in like this, so it'll be glued real good. Okay, so you see I got it that much right there. We can look at it right here and tell that's sticking out. I did cut some of it off, and you can see it wasn't very thick. So I'm probably just going to skim it across the bottom right here, like this. Just like that. You can always take a little bit off. It's easier to keep taking it off. Can put some right back, but I mean it's easier to just nibble it away. Come right here. We'll take this right here down to the shape of the seat. And what you do is you look over here at this seat, this side. So you want to try to match. And I done blowed this out with a steamer, so it's up as much as it's gonna go. But you see this side right here is sticking up, got a knob. So what you do is you look over here. You can take you a marker if you think that you can't do it. Just take you a marker and look at this side right here. I can just draw it right down through here. Just draw it like right in here to get your shape. Just like this side. Normally I'll just take it like this and look at that side. Like this. Like I said, you can always take a little bit more off, and you can tell that it's pretty close to getting into the shape. So what you're gonna do is you look right here at this. This is angled right here a little bit. This right here is up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come right in here like this. Just like that. This side right here, right there, you see this side right here is a little bit rounded. So, to keep from having to grind so much, just come right here and just take a little bit off. It might take you a little getting used to, but you'll be carving turkey from now on. And every time you go somewhere, your family will be saying, go in there and give him the knife. When I grind foam, I made a little skirt like this right here that I put on, because foam, it don't look like it, but them little bitty sanding pieces that you sand off of it, good on your clothes, and they will not come off. Alright, so, and my nephew told me, when you're making the video, lose the overalls. Do not wear the overalls. So, he didn't like them. I might keep them. I don't know. If you ain't got nobody to hold it, get you a weight and put on it. I had 2 or 3 weights over here. I use them regular. This is a Bondo buster. I use it pretty often. Every time I had to repair the seat. You can use a smaller grinder. You can use several different kinds. But you're gonna have to have that rough grit paper, like a 36. metal's been hit with this, if you hit any metal with it, it'll quit cutting pad. It won't. It just don't do good anymore. Has hit something, because it. You see, I'm doing. It ain't cutting. All right. That's how you do it. Look at this yo-yo. That's the way you do it. Alright. So that's what it looks like when it's done. I could smooth that out just a little bit, and I probably will. This is the firm piece, so it feels about like it did when it was new, and I'm glad this is out of the way. All right, so we can throw this right here on the floor and break that rule that a lot of the upholstery shops have. But we're not just a YouTube upholstery shop yet. We do this for real. Like, a lot of people come out here, and we have to be ready. So I wish I could do it full time YouTube all the time, and we would do some cool stuff because I'd have a lot more time, and it takes a lot of time to do custom work. So that's where we're at right now. I'm getting there. All right. Seeing what else I got to glue. I'm thinking I'm about got it. All right. This is the bottom here. This is the bottom. It's got the box in. It's got all that stuff. So we're gonna come over here to the sewing machine, and I'm finna burn it up. Make it roll. This is the backrest right here. This is the backrest. I hadn't drawn the lines and stuff on it yet, but they need to be. So probably I've already got halfway drawn on them. So I'm gonna come right here. That's my halfway mark. Gotta have them lines. That ruler's 2 inches. It's good to keep up with how many lines you put on the bottom if you go ahead and fix the bottom seats. You want them all to match up. Alright, that's how many I got on there. Gotta sew that one. I'm making both seats from one seat. Both seats are alike. A lot of times you can make both seats from the same seat cover. On the driver's side, you just got to reverse it. Ooh, I moved. Alright. Try to keep all your covers together. Try to keep all your pieces together. You don't want to get your seats all mixed up. I would say if you can't keep up with them pretty good, you probably need to write it down. Alright. There we are. Alright. I got my brown thread. I got some black thread on the top. I think I'm gonna swap it because I don't want black thread on the seat, brown seat. The thread that I'm putting on in the bottom bobbin is a little bit bigger, kind of like contrast thread, not quite as big as contrast thread, but it makes this top thread right here, because it's big and I didn't adjust the bobbin case for the bigger thread, and it's it's like it's breaking my top thread. I may try to be a little careful when I get Alright, got that little piece right there sewed. I think I'm going to sew this one right here while I'm right here doing it. Remember what I told you? on the other video. Make sure that you got this right here glued real good, especially if you're gonna turn it around. See how I'm taking this sewing on a new line every time, cutting it off back here, right here, and then bringing it back and sewing it again. If you turn it around, and you sew the opposite way, let's say I turn it around and sew it like this way, it can actually push a wrinkle because you're coming this way and then you're going back this way, and it can actually like put a wrinkle in it like that. You don't want that. You might can steam it out, but it take a little extra work. Alright, so we got them right there done. What you do is you take your pattern right here and you lay it on top of this piece or on the bottom. In case you screwed up, you could have another chance without getting it all over the material. So I'm gonna say just lay it up here like this. Take your marker, mark it like that. Mark it like that. I can see that line right there straight. That one straight. That one straight. Alright, so I got all that lines marked out. Other than taking the ruler. Take the ruler and just draw it straight. Okay. Got my pattern done. Let's sew around. Thread breaking. I got all my pieces sewed. I really don't need that big thread in there right now, so I'm gonna take it out. Maybe that'll slow down some of that breaking. You know, a sewing machine ain't got to be very far out of time, and it will have you pulling your hair out if you don't know. Broke my thread again. Let me feel that needle. Sometimes if that needle's got a little burr on it, it'll break that thread. I didn't feel one. but I hadn't pulled it out and looked at it either. I think it could be in there crooked, like twisted. That might have been my whole problem. Alright, so I'm going to trim these edges right here. You know, it can take a few hours to cover some seats. And it might take a few more, you know. It might take more than that. Just according to what you run into whenever you get that cover off and find out it can have a broke frame, it can have some broke bolts off in it. It's just a gift. Upholstery work is the gift. It never quits giving sometimes. If you do trim work, my hat's off to you. I have been looking for 40 years for that one right person that can do upholstery work where I don't have to tell them anything. And I ain't found that person yet. I thought I did. But he wouldn't move. You know how you get set in your ways and you do certain things certain ways? Well, I used to wouldn't have nothing but them old whisk scissors. I might would take some gingers. But these right here, made in Japan, them are some good scissors. You see what they look like. If you see a pair of them, you know they're good. K-A-I. Alright, we got our piece padded right here. This piece right here is padded. I'm going to come right here, mark it out. You see that it is not straight across there. It's kind of rounded. I made this piece big on purpose to where I could do just what I'm doing with it right now. Right. Then you come right here. Make sure you keep that line right here in line. You come right here. I'm thinking that line right there is straight. It looks kind of straight. Just to get my centers right here. Before I cut that, I'm gonna make sure that that's just about right. 12 and a half. Just a tad over 12. Maybe it could be this. You know, the patterns on a seat can be twisted, moved, and you got to kind of use your judgment of what side is moved or not. Take it, fold it, get your center. So that's the bottom, it's the wider end. This the narrow end, that's the top. You can look at this. That's wider, that's narrower. That's the way it goes. It goes just like this right here. The contours in it, like this, is hopefully that will go just like that. I need my piece that had the tribal on it. Sew that piece in there. There they are. So I measured these off and they're just as wide as this. The only thing is I don't know if I want to put this piece, maybe it'll take it up. I'm going to try to take that up to where that ain't on there. Same up here. I just don't want any of that showing. So I'm going to try to get that off of it. Alright, let's see. That's a little long, that's a little long. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I may have to push and sew this piece right here a little bit. As you go, you kind of push it like that. Not enough to put a wrinkle in it, but enough to make this piece right here go in, but not enough to wrinkle it. Alright, I see a little bit of that line. That ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. I can see a little bit of it, but that's not bad. The pattern that I cut is just a little bit longer right here. That's the reason I'm pushing and sewing it. I can cut a little bit of it off. See how that piece went in? The right length. It's not wrinkled. Got that old travel in there. We can't see that from my house, can we? Okay. Here's the pieces right here that I had for the backrest. These pieces go in here just like this. That's the top piece. Let's see if this piece right here is a little longer, but I don't think it is. Alright, so there's our piece here. That's just right. Piece here, that's just right. Piece here, that's just right. But this piece right here is looking like it is a little, like it's a little short. I did put some marks on it. Alright, found out my shortness. It's always good to go back and refer to these patterns. Alright, here's my piece right here, so it's the right length. But if you look, this side right here, it actually goes around on the top of this. So that right there, this piece right here, this piece goes all the way around over the top of this piece. So, good thing to keep up with your patterns. So to make it to where I sew these pieces right here on next, I actually need to sew these sides on there. And I know this edge right here will sew it around. Right here. Like, come in here, snip that just a little bit, give it a relief cut. But I got I got black thread in the bobbin, so I'm gonna have to put a different thread in there. Maybe wind me a little bit. This is a little bit of an old school color. I just happened to have it, and it matched what he had. Alright, so I'm gonna pull my thread out, pull my bobbin out, and wind this up real quick. I think that's probably enough just to sew that. This bobbin right here, that's a China bobbin. I got it offline. It's not like where you go to a sewing place and get one. Things that look alike sometimes are not, and that's one of them. Is these bobbins right here. When it slides on my little winder right there, it don't it slips on it. Alright, so I got my little pieces right there cut, and what I'm fixing to do is just sew around them right here. Alright, and that's what it's supposed to look like. It's just a hemmed edge. It ain't nothing fancy or nothing like that. It's just hemmed. And if I go right here, that piece goes all the way around like that's right here. Goes all the way around. Just like that. Just like that. That's where that went. It's always best to do a little checking before you get to the end. That way you ain't cutting those stitches back out. Hey, it's got to be that needle, because it breaks my thread too quick. or it could be the bobbin hook. Oh, they ain't got no boxing sewed in. These seats right here, they were not folded back. They were just like this. They were just sewed together, nothing fancy at all, just sewed together. But you know they really look like crap like that. So they need to have at least a layer flip down. At least need to have a top stitch on it. So that's what I'm gonna give it, is a top stitch. Okay, all I did was just put a little top stitch on it. Maybe it makes it look a little bit better. And this piece right here, it goes on just the same as, but I'm thinking this piece right here, needs to be sewed onto the backrest before it's sewed on. So here we go. I'm gonna sew this piece right here on. Okay, I think I can push that right there and make it work. It's always good to cut a little bit of that edge off on that seat. That way it's not too thick, it's not standing up. When I say cut that edge off, I'm just talking about right here. Right there. You see how that's sticking up a little bit? It ain't got to have that much on there to hold it. You're going to be sewing across it anyway. Just cut a little bit of it off. You don't have to cut it off. But it will lay down a little bit more if you cut that off. That's what it's going to look like. There's something fraying my thread, y'all. I don't know what it is. That needle still feels good. I just don't know. Maybe if I pulled it out and see if it's bent. I was sewing through some hard plastic. It's possible it could have bent it. All right. I'm not gonna talk good. I'm not. But it's pushing me. It's pushing me to do it. Alright, I'm gonna sew this top stitch back on here. Alright, here we go. Right back in place with the others. Just the other side. All I have to do is sew the center part on there. Just the center part of the back, like where the pocket is. And this seat cover right here would basically be done. Alright, so this is what it would look like. Roll that back around. Just like that. And I'll show you exactly what it's going to look like. So I'm finna wind it up. We're finna wind it up here in just a minute. Alright, here's some more patterns right here that I got. That's the bottom. Like I said, I already got one fixed. I'm not going to be able to put the other seat together because I don't have the other seat. The guy's driving on it. So what he done, he brought me one seat and I can make both covers from that one seat. So if you look right here, that's what it'll look like once I get it sewed up, you know, naturally I got to sew the bottom on it. I took a zipper. The backrest right here, it don't. This is the center part of it right here. I don't have it sewed in. I'm gonna take and put this pocket on here like this right here, so you can put a bunch of crap in there, make the seat sag in the back. So that's that. I'll definitely finish these up tomorrow. So if you don't mind, like and subscribe. I think that they'll look pretty good. They're not nothing fancy by no means, but whenever they're all said and done, put on, he wanted something he could wipe off, so this will be something that he can wipe off. Like and subscribe. I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's actually here. It's actually already tomorrow, but I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks.